Hey everybody, welcome back to another Mysterious Short. Tonight I want to talk to you about something that's been sitting in the back of my brain for a while now. Because every once in a while, you come across a story that sounds so strange, so unnerving that you almost want to dismiss it, but you can't. Um, so when you start digging into it, like I do sometimes, pieces begin to line up in ways that make you wonder if something deeper is going on. And lately, that story revolves around three very real things, and that's been in the news lately: the war with Iran, Silicon Valley power brokers, and slight whispers of Armageddon. Now, on the surface, that sounds like the plot of some dystopian novel, but the people involved in the story are very real. One of them is tech billionaire investor Peter Thiel. Most people know Thiel as the co-founder of PayPal, an early investor in Facebook, and the man behind powerful data companies like Palantir. But Thiel has always been a little different from the typical Silicon Valley billionaires. He has openly talked about civilization-ending threats, nuclear war, artificial intelligence, societal collapse, you name it. And in several speeches over the years, Thiel has even referenced the concept of the apocalypse, not just in a religious sense, but in a real historical possibility. Now, take a pause for a moment and think about that. One of the most influential people in modern technology, someone deeply connected to defense, intelligence, and global data networks, openly discussing the end of civilization. It's quite scary. But here's where the story takes a darker turn. Because according to complaints filed by U.S. service members with the Military Religious Freedom Foundation, some American troops say their commanders have been framing the conflict with Iran in biblical terms. Not political terms, but biblical. One complained that a commander told troops that Donald Trump had been anointed by Jesus to light the signal fire in Iran, triggering Armageddon. Now, let me be clear about something. These are allegations from service members. They're not official U.S. policy, and it's definitely not something that you're going to hear about on the mainstream news. But the fact that claims like these are even circulating inside the military should make anyone stop and think. Because history shows us something very important, and I'm not saying this about our current leaders, but when leaders start believing they're part of prophecy, wars stop being about strategy, and they become strictly about destiny. And sometimes destiny is a very dangerous thing. But here's the question that really keeps me pondering at night. What happens when that mindset collides with the most powerful technology humanity has ever created that we know about? You have Silicon Valley billionaires who believe we're approaching some kind of civilizational tipping point. You have military rhetoric invoking biblical end times. And you have geopolitical tensions rising in the exact region that many ancient prophecies say the final conflict will begin. And I've studied this or heard about this my whole life growing up Christian. Maybe it's coincidence. Maybe it's just the natural chaos of history unfolding. Or maybe it's actually real prophecy coming to light. Some of the most powerful people in the world genuinely believe that we're approaching the final chapter. And if even a handful of them believe that their decisions could shape the future of the entire planet, then we may be in trouble. Because if the people steering the ship think the world is supposed to end, they might not be trying very hard to stop it. You know what I mean? And that raises a chilling possibility. Maybe the biggest mystery isn't whether Armageddon will happen or not. Maybe the mystery is whether anyone is quietly trying to make sure that it does. Now think about that. This is Paul with The Mysterious Huntsman. You know where to find me. And sometimes the darkest stories aren't the ones hiding in the woods with Bigfoot or the dog man. They're the ones unfolding right in front of us. And sometimes that's more terrifying. All right, talk soon, guys.